we're actually going to talk about what makes the Pathfinder and some of the differences that you've seen between what our AI responds and the way GPT-4 responds. So the key difference is that what Behavox has built with Behavox LLM 2.0 is a specialist model. These things are called SLLMs, specialized large language models. The GPT-4 or ChatGPT or Gemini or any other model that you would be getting from a large hyperscaler like Google or Microsoft or OpenAI, they are called general models. And those generalist models are designed like sailboats. They're supposed to get you to a number of different topics. If you're interested in physics, you can ask it questions. If you're interested in chemistry, you will ask questions. Compliance, it can actually be reasonably dangerous in many, many topics. But if you start going deeper and deeper and deeper, it starts hallucinating more and more and more. And we obviously built an oil rig. It's really good in compliance. It's really good in financial services. Unfortunately, it knows nothing about polar bears, and it would not be able to write you a poem about them. So it loses some of the general capabilities, but it actually is trading some of the, they're not really useless, but some of the not valuable, not targeted use cases, it will lose them. But it will gain a bunch of new capabilities that are actually a lot more valuable for the compliance teams. And if we were to open up the brain of GPT-4 and we're talking about the foundation itself, you would be able to see that inside it has Wikipedia. Inside it has computer code. It's like much compliance, like why do you even need it? It also has books and articles. So it would have things like Communist Manifesto. I'm not sure like to what extent that's useful. But the thing that is the most damning for it is the Reddit training data set. And that's probably by far the biggest data set inside GPT-4. Now, why is it a problem? Well, Reddit is rife with a bunch of people discussing God knows what, and they're hardly qualified to discuss anything related to investments. Obviously, GPT-4 has no idea if, Bunny6480 user is any way, shape, or form, certified by FINRA or the SEC. So, model should probably not be listening to their statements. But unfortunately, there is no curation of these data sets. So as a result of this, you end up with a lot of hallucinations. You can compare that to Behavox LLM 2.0. So when we were working with the GPT-3, GPT 3.5, and 4, you can try to fine-tune it. You can try to get it to do a lot of things in compliance. But one of the biggest challenges is that it just continues to hallucinate. So we wanted to re-engineer it. But unfortunately, all of these companies that have their own AI models, like OpenAI or Microsoft or Google, they don't actually share their IP, unfortunately. They will tell you that their model works, but they don't tell you what's exactly inside the model. They don't tell you how they trained it. They will never share it because that's their crown jewels. So it took us a while to reverse engineer and figure out how to build your own large language model from scratch. We're fortunate that we're funded by SoftBank, who made an investment back in 2020. And we basically spent $50 million trying to figure this out. Most of the money went for data sets and electricity. And I'll explain in a second why. And inside our LLM, what we decided to do is take a bunch of equity research that was donated to us by our customers. We then took regulatory websites. We took a bunch of financial textbooks. For those of you who are wondering if we paid for those textbooks, the answer is yes, we have paid for them. But we're fortunate that actually you don't need to go and buy Briley Meyer's corporate finance textbook. What you could do is you could go to one of these companies that train analysts in investment banks to pass CFA exams, as an example. And they produce copious amounts of training material. So we rocked up to one of them and we said, how much would it cost to buy all of your training material? They were very happy to sell it for $25,000. So we were lucky with those guys, but pretty much everywhere else, it's the price tag for data sets is well into hundreds of thousands of dollars, so millions of dollars. And you also need to have a lot of infrastructure because we're talking about huge amounts of data. So the 2.5 billion chats that was donated to us is 2.5 times bigger than Wikipedia. So that data load is very difficult to store, very difficult to organize. Now, this is elegantly organized for you into green boxes. It's all nice and cool. And if you were to go into our data operations and ask them to show you the data set that underpins the Behavox LLM, it's organized in a neat way. You would actually be able to see all of this data on your own, for yourself. If you were to go to GPT-4 and ask them, please, could you show us the training data set, they would not share it. It's proprietary. So for all the other models, the training data sets are behind closed doors. You cannot see them, which means that you cannot go through model validation process, especially if it's a regulated deployment of the model, such as compliance. Now, just a little bit of detail on where we got this data. So the first thing is there's a bunch of open source finance data, but there's a lot of data that is unobtainable. And one of the key things that is unobtainable is the data that we sourced from our customers. And I want to spend just a little bit of time on this one because a lot of our customers are putting their communication data inside our surveillance platform or archiving platform. All of that data is actually encrypted and behind closed doors. There is no way we as a company can get access to that data. So we basically have to go and beg and parlay and give discounts and talk to our customers to ask them if they would be willing to donate data to us. Some of those customers are willing to donate it because they believe that that's the good thing to do, because that improves everybody's controls, including their controls. Some of the customers are actually incentivized to give this data because they're interested in language capability that doesn't exist. Or the language capability where the language data sets that exist in the world are just too small. Example of it would be Danish language. So Danish language happens to be, I believe the population of Denmark is like 5 million people. So the data set is very, very small. And as a result, when you're trying to train a large language model, it just doesn't work. Really thankful to our customers for sharing some of their data because that really makes a difference when you're building a specialized LLM. Remember the levels of AI mastery, and we're just talking at the break that for those of you who have seen this slide, you remember that we were at level 4 and 3, but over time we now have been able to progress all the way to level 1, where we're building our own LLM from scratch. For those of you who are not in compliance and you're wondering how is this in any shape or form going to be useful to us in front office, so sometime next year we're actually going to give you API access to the model itself, so you would be able to train and fine-tune it and use it in whatever application that you want to use it for. So that I'm talking about the foundation blocks and the foundation model as the Behavox LLM 2.0. So we're working right now with Google and also AWS to give you that capability.